As a retired police officer, I always remember the chaos, the anger, the numbness, and the fear that gripped us minutes after the attacks 11 years ago. Some of us headed to Manhattan to help in the rescue. Others searched for blood donor sites. Some lined their yards with flags or huddled with their kids. We all prayed for clarity, for those lost, and for our country. I don't know about you, but I had a strange sense of guilt. I should have been there. I should have been helping. Well, 3 months later, as a part of a church mission to counsel my New York colleagues, I realized I wasn't alone. The remorse stemmed from watching our brothers and sisters die, and from wishing we, somehow, could have taken their place. We knew this was a pivotal moment in our history. What we didn't understand until years later was how transformative this moment would be. The horrific attacks of 9/11 altered our view of the world and unleashed the greatest foreign policy debate since the rise of communism. But it also changed the way we worked as police officers, firefighters, and all first responders. The challenge was obvious. First, the emerging threat of terrorism was going to require the increased involvement of local police. Second, our police would be required to determine how best to defend against organized terrorism, as well as the seemingly random acts committed by lone criminals or the insane. The 9/11 attacks forced us into a defensive position against organized terrorism. State and local police departments have improved partnerships with federal agencies and now gather massive volumes of information based on the assumption that given the right raw data and their ability to analyze that data, law enforcement can head off organized terrorist attacks. The numerous arrests of would-be terrorists over the past decade have shown signs of success. While the recent killings of innocent moviegoers in Colorado remind us that even the best defense can falter when faced with a single psychopath bent on mass murder. So our challenge remains great, but we will never back down from our duty to protect and to serve. So we gather here today in Rose Tree Park in the shadow of these memorials on a sunny Tuesday morning, eerily similar, think about it, to 11 years ago. To pay tribute to our own fallen police and firefighters and EMS, we also honor those lost in New York, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C. It was just announced yesterday that the federal government is expecting to formally acknowledge the link between toxic conditions at Ground Zero and several different diseases, allowing first responders access to funds from federal compensation funds, an action that I believe is years overdue. But it reaffirms the fact, though that fateful day occurred 11 years ago, for many, that fight continues, and for some, it has just begun. So as we meet here today, please remember that every time our first responders out there answer that call to action, they put their own lives on the line. And that we'll never forget those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. I'd like to thank you. God bless you. God bless Julia Marine. God bless Pennsylvanians. And God bless these United States. Thank you.